Hey everybody, welcome to the 17th episode of California Wine TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host Scott Sheldon, and it's a pleasure to be here. So if you guys caught our last episode, number 16, you know things got a little out of hand in the kitchen. All in all, it was a great episode. It was pretty funny, and we ended up with a great food and wine pairing at the end. You guys should check it out if you haven't seen it. Today, episode 17, the theme of this episode is wines from semi-obscure regions of California. Some places you may not have actually had wines from before. I know I haven't. The first one we're going to do today is a 2008 Estate Pinot Noir coming from the Letitia Winery. The area that this wine comes from is the Arroyo Grande Valley, located in San Luis Obispo County. And it's part of the Central Coast AVA. And it has kind of an interesting soil composition and microclimate. There's some great details on the back of this wine. The soil composition is a rocky clay loams derived from volcanic and ocean floor materials. The topography, coastal terrace, only 3 miles away from the Pacific Ocean, and it has a maritime climate, region 1, meaning it's actually the coolest growing region in California. And $23.99 I paid for this, 14.1% alcohol. Estate grown, meaning everything was grown right on the property, vented and bottled is what estate means if you guys don't know. And I'm really curious to see what goes on here because, like I said, I have not had a wine from this region, and I really dig Pinot Noirs. It's my favorite varietal, and I'd like to see what flavor nuances this brings to the table. So let's get a little bit of a sniff. Really beautiful nose. Got a nice deep purple color, pretty dense. Let's get some more oxygen into it. Really beautiful floral notes, like violet, for example, comes through. Really reminds me like, it has this red candy, like cherry raspberry thing going on. Reminds me of Red Vines, and I don't know if you guys had Red Vines licorice. Also reminds me of Razzles. It's like these candies that you eat them. You start out as a candy and then they actually like turn into gum. And it really has this kind of candied red fruit thing happening. It's really nice actually. I like that kind of a thing a lot of times in a Pinot. A little bit earthy, and it also has this beautiful cola aroma that's coming through. Let's give it a taste. First thing that hits you is this beautiful attack of bright red sour fruit. Bing cherries, kind of pomegranates, kind of like a touch of smoke, also, if you will, a little spiciness, and also reminds me of rhubarb. I don't know if you guys ever had like a rhubarb pie. It's, I think, technically a vegetable, but it kind of looks like celery. It's reddish, and they cook it up, chop it up, and actually make like a fruit pie out of it. That's really good stuff. Let me have another taste of this. It's really beautiful. It's a great wine. Good job. Bring some serious game, I must say. Let's get into wine number 2. The region that this wine comes from is Malibu, California. Not an area really widely associated with winemaking. I was actually in Sonoma. I was talking to somebody at a winery up there, and I'm like, just like, hey, you know, Malibu is actually an AVA, registered, you know, American Viticultural Area. And the guy was like, what do they grow grapes on the beach? No respect, I tell you. Seriously though, it is a great area for growing grapes rather, for winemaking. There's a really nice hilly area on the other side of the beach where they faces south, and they can grow some great grapes there. And Jim Palmer's been doing it since '97. He's a longtime Malibu resident. First wine here is a 2007 Vortex Sangiovese, 80% Sangiovese, 10% Cabernet Franc, 10% Merlot. The first wine he came out with was an 03 Syrah, and that took a silver medal at the 05 LA County Fair. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm really interested to see what Malibu, brings to the table. Right off the bat, I see a little bit difference in color in the first wine. Tiny bit of a rusty reddish color, not so purplish, if you will. You guys can catch that. Similar in density, maybe a tiny bit lighter. Let's give this a little smell. It's got like a strawberry pie thing happening. It's like a fresh baked, kind of gooey, sugary, bright red, artificial strawberry pie. Really nice, beautiful nose to this wine. You can smell some oak coming through. That strawberry flavor comes right through on the palate. Also reminds me of Tangy Taffy, another candy reference today. I don't know what's up with the candy references. As a kid, I used to love the sour cherry Tangy Taffy, and that's what this really reminds me of. It's got a nice lean sweetness. The tannins are totally under control in this wine. It's not dry at all, perfectly balanced. This is a really beautiful wine. I like this. I'm sorry, I can't spit that out. Wow, that's really good. Single vineyard wine. A few details on the back here. Western Malibu, single vineyard varietal. It's a microclimate of mineral-rich soil, south-facing hillside at an elevation of 1,200 feet. Basically, long days of sunlight, cool ocean breezes creates a perfect wine-growing climate with its own unique terroir. Cool stuff. This wine is absolutely fantastic. This is definitely, without a doubt, the best domestic Sangiovese I've ever had. Hats off to you, Malibu. Sonoma, it's not all about you. We got some stuff happening here. Okay, so enough, all kidding aside, why don't we rank these guys up? Let's go back to the 2008 Estate Pinot Noir from Laetitia. Totally solid effort. $23.99 I paid for this wine. I would say 89 points. I would definitely recommend it. It's got some interesting things happening in the flavor profile and the aromas. Not just your typical California Pinot Noir. And so if you're a Pinot Noir fan, go check it out. It's not too pricey, and it's definitely solid. I think you guys would enjoy it, and it's always fun to try a wine from a new region. Number 2, Malibu Vineyards. Guys, totally blew me away. I'm going to say 94 points on this wine. $25. This wine is incredible. It's got a beautiful fruitiness to it, and it's just fantastic. I love it. Let's talk about little food pairings. This wine, Sangiovese, goes great with cheese, sausages. If you eat veal, it's a great pairing. Really goes fantastically with like tomato sauce, like a nice, just basic tomato sauce pasta or a pizza. Basically my go-to wine for pizza, Sangiovese. So that's what I'd say on the food pairing. Over here on Pinot Noir, chicken, mushrooms, good stuff. Anything with a little bit of earthiness to it is good. I love it with salmon. It's a great wine to pair up with salmon, and some other fish too, some of the meatier, firmer, solid fishes. It's good stuff in terms of pairing up. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. We got 2 different regions that hopefully you weren't that familiar with, and maybe learn some new stuff. And encourage you guys, if you haven't, check out our website. Go to www.californiawinetv.com. Please hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/CaliforniaWineTV. We're on Twitter, twitter.com/Scott Sheldon. And please email me too. Let me know if there's some wines you want me to try to do on the show. Scott at CaliforniaWineTV.com. Check us out on iTunes if you got the time. And but I want to hear your suggestions. I want to hear your comments. I want to know what can we do to make this show better. And I'm really serious about doing some wines that you guys want me to review here, because that's what it's all about. I just want to be a little bit of a service to the community and help people out when I can. It's certainly a lot of fun doing it, I'll tell you that much. So you guys, hope you enjoyed it. Take care. I'll see you next time.